Alright, yo, what's going on, all my gamers? All my reaction gamers. Chat, beautiful women wonder why men don't approach them. I don't know. Could be for any variety of reasons. Chat. I mean, chat, you guys know me as someone who is constantly surrounded by women. You know, they call me, I'm the VTuber playboy. I just go around talking to all the VTuber women and, something like that. I don't know. I talk to my gotcha women. Does that count? Obviously, chat. I play a lot of Nikkei, so I'm very, very versed in talking to beautiful women. So let's watch this video. I don't know what.
There's a really interesting trend of very attractive women complaining that men are no longer approaching them, and I find this absolutely fascinating. So
it's also kind of funny.
When I was a young man, I only plucked up the courage to actually just walk up to a random woman on the street once because she was really attractive and say, "Hey, would you like to go out?" She turned me down, right? Every other time I've got...
Hey, sometimes you gotta rip that Band-Aid off, dude. You gotta be like, hey, you know what I mean? You want to hang out or sometime? And, if she says no, it's what it is, chat. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, chat. I'm actually usually not a very sociable person until I get to, like, a con or something. Is that weird? At an anime expo, I was like talking to everybody. I was just walking by people and just like talking to them. I get a lot more sociable at conventions.
Girlfriends or women who have been interested in me, they've basically come to me.
Wait, you have women interested in you? Fuck, what's that like, dude? I wish I could experience that.
And sort of signaled to me that they're interested, and so. Frankly, I've never been the sort of like, walk up to a girl and just start chatting her up type. But that most of the time women will signal when they are interested.
Chat, it's here. I'll give you guys the secret to going up to a woman. You just go up to her and you go like, listen, you're perfect. Me perfect. Why don't you go ahead and give me your number and put it in my iPhone 16 Pro Max and just see what happens.
And you just... If you're interested back, you can pick it up and
surely
go from there.
It goes well, right?
But I think that there is at least a certain kind of woman who enjoys the attention, right? Who likes to know.
I mean, I feel like people like attention, right?
She is an attractive woman. And
why they wouldn't.
She's flattered by men making the effort and, well, as this woman says, catcalling her. Let's listen.
Wait, did you say catcalling? What? That's kind of different, isn't it?
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me.
I feel like I'm missing something. What do you mean? People have stuff to do. They can't just they can't go out of their way to get rejected, brother. Why is it? That's so weird.
Ever. Oh my god, like, please. I'll take a fucking construction worker catcall at this point.
No, you wouldn't. I don't believe you. Also, why not just go out and talk to people? Like, you can do the hitting on people. Hey, if you do the hitting on people, if you're the one who's out there flirting with people, it's gonna work out for you. I promise you that. She's a very, very pretty woman. She's kind of weird, personality-wise. I don't know, but she's funny, bro. She's funny. She's kind of quirky. She's a little wacky, chat. There's nothing wrong with wacky women. So I'm telling you, it'll work out for you.
So,
Jesus.
Now there are many people
who
are saying, well, and this is another video of the woman in the orange dress here. Again, very attractive women, and men are just not approaching them, and they're becoming frustrated by it. And as Con here points out, many women, not all of them, spent the majority of the 2010s bitching about rape culture and misogyny and catcalling and Me Too, and now mad that young men aren't comfortable approaching them.
Oh my god, bro! You know where it gets really awkward is like at the gym or something. When I'm out there, chat, when I'm in there hitting the good reps and I hit the good pumps and I'm getting in the good extension. What I always have to do is be mindful of where I'm looking. I just always feel it. Like if I'm done, rep is done, we're sitting there, taking that 60-second break. I look around because I get bored, or you're active, and if I lock eyes with a woman, I gotta look away immediately. I'm just like, oh fuck, I can't really. I probably shouldn't be, making eye contact. So I'll just like look down or something, or I'll switch to another song on my phone or something, or scroll through Twitter in the meantime. It's just super awkward, bro. I feel like I'm just gonna get walked up on and be told not to look at people. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. It feels like you could at any point be told that you're being a creep. So that's why nope. I'm there to work out and play my Uma Musume game while on the treadmill.
You create the problem. I don't think it's just young men. Although I think the age thing is an interesting question. Because I mean, this woman looks like she's in her early 20s, and well, do men in their early 20s actually spend a lot of time dating anyway? It seems that a lot of Gen Z are quite...
I don't know. Also, that sounds really funny, Gen Z.
Shy, introverted, not great at approaching one another. And
dude, I mean, it's because of the big boom of 2020. I feel like people just weren't developing social skills, and everyone paid the price for it. And even now, you still kind of feel some of the ripple effects of that happening, and just people just don't want to talk to each other. They rather just be on that damn phone. No, I don't know. People just never develop that skill, and even now, I'm sure it'll get back to normal eventually, but like a lot of things have to change, I think.
I mean,
or it'll get worse. Man, there's a good chance it just gets worse. I don't know.
Not entirely their fault. Probably a lot due to social media and the internet, and the fact that they've got phones.
A damn
so
phone.
They don't have to actually go up and personally involve themselves.
This is gonna sound really bad. I would rather just talk on Discord. I don't know. I have more confidence on Discord. Weirdly enough, I'm a lot more sociable and loud on Discord. Now that doesn't mean I try to like talk to everyone. Nah, I'd rather. I know a lot of my friends are all like social butterflies and try to befriend the world, and I hate that shit. But it is a lot easier to approach people like while in Discord or something.
And they seem to have been losing the customs on how to show someone that they're interested.
Ask her for the battle pass.
That isn't embarrassing or humiliating in some way, and
walk up to her and
protects
dance.
the dignity of both people involved. And I don't blame them. I mean, these are things that I think generally haven't been well passed down.
Right.
I remember my dad telling me you've just got to go and ask. And the worst she can
Put
say
your
is
feet
no.
and do
I mean,
it.
That's not true. The worst she can do is laugh at you.
Oh, God.
That hasn't happened to me, but I
honestly, if the worst that she would do is like roast you or laugh at you, I would take that. I would take that over the worst thing really being them putting you on social media and making you look like a fool. Now, that could happen to me because I don't really care, right? I'm a VTuber. Whatever happens to IRL me in the public eye quite literally doesn't matter to me. I'm like only me when I leave the house, right? When I'm on here, when I'm on here, when I'm Rin, I could care less, right? No one's really, like I say, it's a benefit of being a small streamer. No one really cares what I do. So it's like if they did that to me, who really cares?
You can imagine that happens, and it's absolutely harrowing. But at the end of the day, as a man, it's tough, and you will get over it. It's not the end of the world. But the times that it does work, then when you think, okay, that woman actually seemed to quite like me, and I'm going to go up and ask her out.
Yeah,
it's actually really gratifying, and you feel like you've accomplished something. Dude. I said I hadn't done once, but now I'm thinking about it. I have actually done it a few more times than that. It was only once that I walked past this woman, and I was just like, wow, she's really attractive. And I was single at the time, and walked up to her. But other times where it's like I had a date with a girl who sold internet. She was one of the women on the street, people on the street who trying to sell broadband, whatever,
right.
15, 20 years ago. I can't remember how long now. And I didn't want it, but I ended up getting it because she was really cute. And I asked her on a date, and she was like, "Yeah, okay, great." It didn't go anywhere.
Chat, a pretty woman could pretty much sell you anything. You know what I have in my hand right now, and it's not even just pretty women, but like even anime women, pretty anime women. Chat, you know what I have in my hand right now? I have Pippa's Oshi Push deck. I'll probably never play this game, but the fact that I had Pippa on it and it was like $15 at Anime Expo, I said, you know what? I'll take it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Chat, last night I just got my Smug-A-Lana cup and shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very, very easily swayed by a pretty woman, so I get it. I ain't gonna judge them. I'm hearing them out. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
It's no big deal. But I ended up with that.
These card arts are really funny though.
But the point is when you do it and it goes quite well, then okay, great, But anyway, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is there's definitely an atmosphere that was created by the feminism of the 2010s,
right?
And this, I think, genuinely has had effects. I mean, Me Too, the hysteria about catcalling,
yeah, me as well, actually,
culture and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can say thanks to Anita Sarkeesian, who herself probably been catcalled 1 or 2 times. She's not
Sarkeesian. What do I know that name?
Who had to marry herself, incidentally. And now these women are feeling the effects of it. That's definitely an issue.
There's evils behind
there are
that
lots
name.
of women all over the place. It's not just like the odd Tinder, TikTok.
Is that Reddit?
Like this,
dude. How much content is on Reddit? I feel like all the girls have been going on Reddit and reading that stuff. I kind of want to go on there.
One here. I'm wondering if guys still approach women they don't know but are attracted to. Or this basically never happens anymore. I, as a woman, don't get approached while walking the street in the grocery store, etc. Men seem to like me at work and on dating apps, but
as a woman, I don't get approached while walking in the store or a grocery store. Probably because no one's in there. You'll never get approached at the mall. Is it because you're ugly? No, it's 'cause there's no one at the mall, dude. Malls are dying. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That's just a funny joke.
Approach thing from strangers just doesn't happen. And what's really
okay, so when I'm at the store or like at the grocery store, dude, I don't approach anyone because like I know what I need to get, right? I'm in there. I know what we're low on. I know what we need to get. I'll get in there and I'll get out like immediately. Like I'm efficient. I'm efficient when I get in the stores. I don't like dilly-dally. I just like, cool, I need this, got that, cool. Let's dip set.
Funny is they're looking, going through this and being like, oh, maybe we need to have some sort of social signal.
Maybe it's time to start. Maybe it's time the practice of dropping handkerchief was reinstated. Is that something that happened? Oh, right. They drop it. You get in there. Have you dropped this, milady? Hello, is this yours? Something like that. I'm assuming, right? Well, I guess that wouldn't be a bad idea, right? You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool. I think so.
Dropping a handkerchief, see if the guy's interested.
Or if say like a woman who's probably shorter than you is like, oh, I can't get this at the top shelf, and you get it for her. Or I can't pick this up. Can you pick that up for me? I would like that. A roguelike. Oh. I started reading this ad as if it was a post. Not really, to be honest. It's a bit more frowned upon nowadays. No, we're called creeps when we do. That's why there is a stat that says 30% of millennial men have stopped dating altogether. I only see this getting higher. Dude, now that Grok has a Misamane version, bro, we're so cooked. Brother, these AIs is gonna be taking over.
There was someone in this thread. I was reading through it before I started recording this. They're like, yeah, but what if the guy doesn't pick it up? That'd be devastating. Absolutely devastating.
Shit. That's gotta be a humbling experience. If you go for the handkerchief drop plan and the guy doesn't get it, I'm leaving. I'm gone. No, thank you.
I don't know. I can't find the other thing. But
I'll find a different store.
Okay, yeah, it would. But at least it wouldn't be, like, obvious. At least you could play it off as if, I just dropped that. I didn't mean to drop it. I wasn't trying to signal.
When you drop something like that and you're trying to do the strat and it doesn't work, cuss. You'd be like, shit, or something like that. It's probably a good play. It's a good playoff. When you make a mistake, believe it or not, cussing is a pretty good. It's a pretty good indicator that, oh, whoops, that's not supposed to happen.
But anyway, so yeah, you've got like other videos of women.
You gotta call
who are
the
just trying
audible.
to think of ways to get guys to approach them, because again, like I think for a lot of women, it's not necessarily that they are, actually
It's unfocusing.
They want loads of guys to be hitting on them. But what I think it is just for them to feel secure about themselves, and also gives them something interesting to say about the night. Like it gives them a social status over other women that these two are talking about incidentally. It gives them sort of like, it's a story, right? That they can tell their friends and say, oh, yeah, this guy approached me. Oh my God, he was this, he was that, whatever. But also it makes
That's
them
kind of weird,
It
though.
reassures them.
I
Oh,
like
right,
that.
no, I am still actually attractive. Because a
yeah,
couple of years ago, I remember
that's
doing
cool.
a video
I
about
get that.
women when they get older and they start to feel invisible. And it's because, like, when you're a young and attractive woman, you at least know that men notice you. And
Right.
I think that for a lot of attractive young women, they feel important. They feel, oh, right, no, I have a place in society. And these guys are looking at me. They're checking me out. Even if they're not approaching me, I'm on their radar, right?
You know what, chat? Hags need love too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give some hag love. We love older women, chat.
Understand that I am a thing that
Please
matters in the grand scheme of male-female
pay
relationships.
for my gotcha addiction.
And so in
I'll tell you,
society
you're
itself,
pretty.
I am sort of put on the map.
We'll both get something out of it.
But what these women are really complaining about is, I think, that they feel that they aren't on the map anymore. And this is the same thing that the older women...
sometimes you're just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's time to hang it up. Or if you're an older woman and you are not single, sorry, if you're not single, that's okay. If you're not single and you're older, you won. If you made it to your like 40s and 50s married, don't worry about it, brother. You made it. But like, if there's like a 40 or 50-year-old woman, I don't know, man. I guess it depends who it is, right? I was going to say maybe there's something wrong with her, but that doesn't seem fair to say. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I mean, you know what I'm saying? People will hag hunt, so I don't want to say there's no hope for them.
We're complaining about when women get to like their 40s and 50s, and men are no longer just checking them out. They no longer catch men just having a sideward glance,
right?
Admiringly, which again,
respectfully,
the feminists have done a superb job of stigmatizing this.
Yeah,
but actually, I think for a lot of women, and
bro, dude, like I'm telling you, like I said at the gym, dude, it's so terrifying to like just sit there, especially if the machine that you're working on is in the middle of the gym. Like at my gym, the arm extension or like the lat pull down is in the middle of the gym. I'm kind of in the middle of everybody, especially if it's a crowded time. Like if I don't go after work, usually after work is like 4 a.m. for me. But if I go in the afternoon and there's a lot of people, bro, I don't even know where to look. It gets kind of weird. You always feel like you shouldn't be looking at people because you see those videos of guys being recorded and they get put on TikTok. And I don't even think Joey Swole is going to come to save us this time. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, you always have that thought in the back of your mind, especially if you're someone who's like introverted, antisocial like me. I don't want it to happen because it's like, well, then I'm just going to never come back.
Quick, a tangent on this. Think about the kind of women who are feminists. Very rarely the attractive ones, right? Very rarely the ones who are getting
blue-haired
catcalled.
Karens.
So in a way, feminism was kind of like a negative mating strategy, and they've ruined it for the decent-looking women. And you can thank your sisters on that one. They were fighting for your rights, not to feel flattered when you're walking around at night in your best clothes.
What do they say? It's always oh God, what is it? It's always the dishes trying to block the snacks or something like that.
Looking as gorgeous as you can. Like, your sisters have done this for you. But I think they're entering the same status as women who grow older. And so, when women get to like their 50s and men are no longer, like, they're no longer a presence on the radar. They're no longer, maybe she's maybe she'd be interested or something like that.
Right.
That no longer happens because men just aren't thinking, okay, I want a 50-year-old woman. I'm going to pick up a 50-year-old woman. So it's one of those things that the older invisible women who didn't get married and don't have kids and don't have families, this is one of the things that, by the way, ladies, you're going to want to get married and have kids so you don't turn into one of these invisible women. It will happen to you too, because this is the nature of what the manosphere uncharitably but fairly calls
like
the wall. When you reach the menopause, frankly, you stop being a viable mate in evolutionary terms, and then that just means that men just don't generally tend to check you out. And younger women, it seems, are actually encountering this firsthand, and so they're strategizing, what can we actually do to not be invisible? Because, you know, we're still potential mates.
Throw something at them. No, don't do that.
What can be done? I mean, this is a fascinating video. This is absolutely fascinating. Let's watch this.
The dating scene is getting so bad in New York City that I am seeing on TikTok there are girls going into Midtown during the week and stealing Finance Bros salads for lunch. And then looking there.
Do they all eat salads? Like, do they all get together and just get a salad? Why is that weird to me? I don't know. Well, I don't work in, you know, I'm not from New York, and I'm not a finance bro, so it's like, I don't know. Are they attracted to salads? That sounds kind of weird. Anyways.
Their name up from the salad order on LinkedIn, and then messaging them through there and being like, hey, oh my god, so sorry.
That's not what LinkedIn is for.
Grabbed your salad, like, let me just make it up to you and buy you a new one. And that's how they're, like, sliding it, which, honestly, smart. Why are we stealing?
I think it's kind of... Oh, man. No, I don't think it's kind of weird. I like the idea of women getting creative and trying to hit on men. Honestly, in my opinion, I think the tried and true method of just going up to him and talk to him would probably work, especially if you're, like, if you're just cute, right? If you're just a cute woman, attractive woman, cute, good personality, or all three. You could be one of the three or all three. I think anything would really work for you. Like, guys aren't going to really expect you walking up to them and trying to hit on them. Now, it might not work all... Now, I'm not telling you it's guaranteed, though. I need you to know that. If you're going up to a dude and they're hitting on him, just know it's not guaranteed just because you're a woman. You might have to take some L's. That's okay. Brush them off. That guy's not going to post it anywhere. Just try it with the next guy. I promise you're going to have more W's than L's.
Men salads, like, that's... Why can't they just come up to us at a bar? Like, why is it getting to this point?
Why would I go to a bar? First of all, I'm straight edge. But also, why would I go to a bar? I don't know. Bro, I'm not going to a bar at night. I'm going to play Genshin at night. That's what I'm going to do, bro. I don't know. I'm not really one for the bar scene.
Men, just...
Because I don't drink, but still, that's not the point.
Just please step up, or your salad's gonna fucking get taken.
How about you step up to my nuts? I want you to consider that instead of telling me to step up. My testicles are there for you to step up to. Sorry, okay. I just didn't like the way she said that. Sorry.
Lunch is gonna...
Seriously, step up to... Go talk to a man.
Gonna get taken every week. Like, I'm seeing girls get so creative these days. Like, they're making bracelets with their phone numbers on them and giving them to you guys at the bars. They are taking pictures of you sneakily and then being like, hey, oh my god, making it their phone screen, and being like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friends so you can see that your picture is their home screen.
I don't think I would like that at all. That one's probably... that one's a miss. I think all the other ones are kind of creative. That one's probably... That's a no-go. I think the rest of them are kind of cool, though. Again, just walk up to someone and talk to them. It's not that hard. Why is everyone overcomplicating it?
Well, just different ways to try to talk to you guys, because you guys don't come up to us in New York City, and it's crazy.
Okay, some of that,
it's not that crazy.
Weird. If I talked to a woman and she had my picture as her phone screen, I'd be like...
That would be so weird,
what's
bro.
happening, man? Is this like some sort of...
It would be even weirder if I walk up to her and she's like, oh my god, are you world famous VTuber Blue Demon Rin? Can I have a picture with you? I'd be like, why are you in my house?
Weird, creepy Truman Show thing. But there we go. I mean, that is clever and creative. Oh, I took
It's
your salad
creative.
by accident. You know, blah,
It's
blah, blah.
creative. I'll give them that.
But this is what I mean. Like, women will signal that they're interested, but I guess if they're not getting approached at all, well, this is actually becoming a problem for them, isn't it? Again, there are loads
Just
of videos
approach people.
of very
Stop
attractive
being
women
lazy.
who are just like, why can't I get a man? And one can't help but feel that it might be a sort of confluence. I think technology definitely has a role to play in this, and the kind of unwinding of society and the shared social customs and traditions that instructed men and women on how exactly to actually meet one another. I think that is genuinely a thing that's happened, although obviously can't quantify it in any way. But I also do think it's the feminism. I do think that, like, a lot of men
Damn you,
feel
feminists.
like they were essentially kind of beaten out of ever approaching women. And they're like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to come across as like some insane creep or anything. But Lisa Britton here makes a good point. There's a trend of women asking, well, what's wrong with men? Maybe they're asking the wrong question. And someone replies, well, they should hang out in the forest. I'm sure the bears would approach them. Well, touche.
To be fair, yeah, kinda. You should run if that were to happen. But yeah, technically the bear would approach you.
Gay. But this is something that a lot of men are worried about. They worry about coming off as creepy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, there's the whole problem with feminism is that, I mean, there are lots of problems with feminism.
All right,
but
well.
one of the main issues
All
with
right,
feminism
bud.
and why most women are not feminists. Right? I remember back in like 2014 or whatever. The feminists were like, 80% of women agree with gender equality, and yet only like 10% of women call themselves feminists. Why? And it's because feminism contains within it a dark animus against men as men. They hate men.
Yeah, I mean, I myself, I wouldn't have a problem calling myself a feminist, right? Because I would like girls to be, I would like girls to be treated just like the same as men, and that's where it stops. That is where it stops. I want people to be treated. Everyone wants people to be treated equally, right? Well, I wouldn't say everybody. You know, there's people who don't, but for the most part, I just want people to be treated equally, not favored, equally, down the middle. No favoritism, right? So it's like in that case, yeah, I won't see any reason to not be a feminist, but it's like, you know, the blue-haired Karens who want to, you know, want men to, you know, be not happy, then it's like, well, with that, I'd rather not call myself a feminist, right? Because there's always like a negative connotation with the word feminist now, and it's their fault, right? Like if you think about like original feminists, they just wanted to vote, I think, right? Yeah, and it's like that one anyone can agree with.
Actually seek
Jokingly, probably not. You know what?
to destroy men. They seek to unseat them from their positions of power and authority because they're men, not because they've done anything wrong. They just are resentful and spiteful
Why are you
against
a
men.
man?
And if these women were allowed to control the discourse for a decade, which they were, well, unsurprisingly, that does have consequences. That does have a knock-on effect that people go, oh, right, okay. If for some reason this is representative of women, and we all agree that the feminists represent women.
Yeah, it feels like it was something immediate that would affect people later, right? That's what, and we're now in the later, so now those people are starting to get affected, right? Those people 10 years ago, they were like, hey, we don't want men to approach us. And now that it's 10 years later and people are of that age to want to be approached, they're like, well, what the fuck? I wasn't around. Why the fuck did this happen? Right? I didn't vote on this. I wasn't there at the meeting saying that we should stop men from hitting on us. And now it's almost kind of too far gone, or it's going to have to take a lot more time for them to undo what those people 10 years ago did. And by the time it gets undone, who knows if it's going to get done again, right?
Well, then things change to, you know, you get a natural and reasonable reaction to what is being broadcast. And so men are like, right, okay, I'm not allowed to approach women anymore. I don't want to come off as some guy of Mad Men or something, some dinosaur. And so a lot of men just won't. Even if they see an attractive girl and they think, oh, God, I wish I could. Apparently a lot of them don't. And now the women are beginning to notice this. And a lot of men just have never approached a woman in person. And
women
70% of men say the number one reasons they don't approach women is fear of rejection. So this is another thing. Like, and this is something that when I was young, women actually, how to say it? There was less need for performative cruelty, right? Because when I was young, there was no social media. You weren't going to record this.
Oh, I get what he means.
You weren't going to share it online.
There's no need to be shamed online.
Likes or whatever. There was no. A girl would tell like 3 or 4 of her friends, her close circle of friends, and they'd titter and whatever when you walk by. But there was nothing really in being performatively sort of belligerent when rejecting someone. And so, honestly, and I know I'm going to sound like old man here, but when I was younger, I mean, there were plenty of girls that I thought liked me that I asked out and that didn't like me, and they were quite kind when they said, "Oh no, no, thank you." Right? I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you.
God, that's like the best case scenario.
Rough, but it's not devastating.
Yeah. A kick to the emotional gut is a lot better than the social gut, right? Like if someone's just like, "Nah, you know what? I'm not really feeling you like that," and it's like, damn. Well, it's okay. But if it's like the social gut, then it's like, oh my God, look at this guy, he's hitting on me, and then you're on Twitter, and now your life is over.
Within the next day, you just just get over it and you carry on with your life. It's just the way that things go. Sometimes you roll the dice with someone that you either know or work with or whatever.
Hey, time to take the gamble, baby. I have good luck.
You don't get what you want. But I think that now there's a kind of hard edge to it. And I genuinely think it comes from feminism. I genuinely think it comes from a culture of thinking that men are basically oppressive and
man, I ain't even did nothing.
Frankly. And it's a culture that genuinely stigmatized men.
Man, and I ain't even did nothing.
I can definitely see that as a younger man now, I would definitely say it's scarier as a younger man now to approach a woman. I could see why. I think this is more of an American thing. I get the feeling that over in Britain, it's probably still not that bad. Although I have to say,
I don't know how it would be in other places. The only other place I've been to is Mexico when I was younger. I wouldn't know.
I'm just judging from the young men I know in this age bracket that I know. Because, of course, I never approach women. I don't go anywhere or do anything and sounds like with women at all. But
it's probably why I prefer hitting on people on Discord, because I don't leave the house. I leave the house for 2 reasons: for work or for gym.
But I can see why younger men now would feel like it's more worrisome than it was when I was young. But maybe I'm overreacting. Honestly, I want to open this up to you guys in the comments because honestly, I don't know, and I'm just. But there's got to be something to it, right? There's got to be something here because it's weird that you get very beautiful women going, well, where the hell are the men?
Where are the guys?
The men going, well, look, we're a bit too afraid to approach you. There has to have been some reason for it, and it honestly probably is feminism.
God, I don't want to talk to women. They have cooties. Chat, this is an interesting video. I know a lot of people have been talking about this and then some other stuff recently. So, I want to get back into the game, get back into the discussion. So, we're easing back into it. Chat, it's always such interesting things that lead up to certain situations, right? Like with this whole no one hitting on women anymore. Obviously, it just goes back to like people being outed as creeps or falsely being outed as creeps, and people just don't want to deal with that. Chat, I wouldn't want to deal with that. That's why I go home and I play my gacha games. Chat. Obviously, I mean, if I were to hit on a woman, it would probably be at the gym, and even then, right? I wouldn't want to, just because like that's where I'm at a lot, right? I'm there as often as I can be, so I wouldn't want to mess up that situation for myself where I would no longer be able to go back because like I get outed as a creep or someone takes it the wrong way. So I would rather just stay to myself and avoid the problems, right? But I mean, eventually you just gotta get out there and put yourself out there, chat. I don't really know. Chat, I'm a VTuber. Don't even listen to me. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.